Good morning, all of you. So, in the last lecture, we were discussing the Hoffman's bromoamide reaction, bromoamide reaction, or which is also called as Hoffman's rearrangement, which is also called as Hoffman's rearrangement, which is also called as your Hoffman's rearrangement. So, this is the reaction in which it involves the conversion of amide, an amide into primary amine primary amine with one carbon atom less, with one carbon atom less than the less than amide less than amide. So here in this reaction, amide is the molecule which contains the functional group, that is RCONH2, is being converted to RNH2, that is the primary amine. So in this reaction, it involves that the by action of, that is the RCONH2, by action of NaOBr, that is sodium hypobromide, which is obtained by the reaction of NaOH in presence of bromine, NaOH in presence of bromine. And so here we get, that is the minus NaBr takes place, and we get the formation of RNH2 plus twice NaBr plus Na2CO3 plus twice H2O. Means the alkaline solution may be your NaOH or KOH. So here the four molecules of NaOH reacts with one molecule of bromine and gives you the sodium hypobromide, and all these things are happened. So here you get the conversion to a primary amine with one carbon atom less than the starting compound. So if you just see that alkyl group is containing suppose one carbon atom and this is the second one, but here there is only one carbon, and so one carbon atom is less in the product than the starting compound. So in this reaction, what is the mechanism? So yesterday we were discussing the mechanism of the reaction, and in the mechanism of the reaction, the very first thing that we want to study, that is in the first step, that is the bromine reacts with aqueous NaOH, aqueous NaOH having four molecules, and here you get the formation of sodium hypobromide, sodium hypobromide plus twice NaBr plus Na2CO3 and plus twice H2O. So in this, the sodium hypobromide is obtained, and now in the very first step, what happens, that is second step, that is the amide reacts with the sodium hypobromide, that is NaOBr, and gives you the formation of N-bromoamide, where the hydrogen atom of the amino group is being replaced by the NHBr, and it gives out the NaBr. So here N-bromoamide is formed in this step. Now once the N-bromoamide is obtained, this amide contains this acidic proton. This proton becomes acidic because this nitrogen is attached to the bromine, which is electronegative, and the carbonyl group, which is also electron withdrawing, and so this proton on the nitrogen becomes more acidic, and that's why it reacts with the base, that is OH minus, and liberates the water molecule, and here you get the formation of N-bromoamide, that is your RC double bond O N minus and Br. Here you get the formation of N bromoamide anion. Here you get the N bromoamide, and as the N bromoamide is formed, it immediately undergoes the elimination of bromine ion, and you get the formation of a very reactive species, that is the acyl nitrine, acyl nitrine, acyl nitrine. And this is a very reactive species obtained in this step. And once you get the formation of the acyl nitrine, this acyl nitrine, here this molecule undergoes the rearrangement, that is the rearrangement is taking place in this step where this alkyl group migrates towards from the carbon to the electron deficient nitrogen atom. This migrates along with the electron pair, and so this carbonyl group, the carbonyl carbon becomes electropositive and it forms the isocyanate. It forms the isocyanate, that is R double bond N, sorry, R N, as it has gone to the nitrogen, and so here you are getting the Rn minus with C double bond O, where it is electropositive. And so this is having the resonating structure that the electron pair from the nitrogen has been donated to this carbon, and you get R double Rn double bond C double bond O. And so these are the both resonating structures of your isocyanate. And once the isocyanate is formed in this as an intermediate, this isocyanate immediately undergoes hydrolysis. It immediately undergoes hydrolysis, and after a hydrolysis it gives you the formation, that is RNH C double bond OOH. And so here in the last step, this undergoes elimination, and here it liberates the carbon dioxide, that is RNH2 plus CO2. So this is your primary amine which is obtained in this reaction, and this carbon dioxide, it further reacts with two molecules of sodium hydroxide, and here carbon dioxide gives you the formation of Na2CO3 plus H2O. So this is the reaction which is taking place with the carbon dioxide. And so this is nothing but your, it's a called as your Hofmann's rearrangement, or it is also called as your Hofmann bromamide reaction, because the bromamide is the intermediate which is obtained in this state, in this reaction. And so it is also called as your Hofmann's bromamide reaction or Hofmann's rearrangement. So this reaction is having the wide applications, because by using this reaction, the applications are that you can convert the carboxylic acids into primary amines. So here suppose the example propionic acid, that is CH3CH2COOH. Propionic acid on reaction with thionyl chloride will give you the formation of CH3CH2COCl, that is the acid chloride, propionyl chloride. So here you get the formation of propionyl chloride, propionyl chloride, and this propionyl chloride on reaction with ammonia will form the amide CH2CONH2, and this propionamide, propionamide on reaction with bromine in presence of KOH or NaOH, which forms the hypobromide and gives you the formation of ethylamine, that is your CH3CH2NH2. That is the ethylamine is obtained as a product, means the formation of a primary amine. So this is the application of the Hofmann's rearrangement reaction. So here now we will turn towards the reactions of amines. reactions of amines. Reactions of amines. Now, in the reactions of amines, the first reaction is the thermal decomposition of ammonium salt of quaternary ammonium salt. And so here this is also termed as your Hofmann's elimination. It's also termed as your Hofmann's elimination. So in this reaction, the quaternary ammonium hydroxide, it undergoes thermal decomposition to form tertiary amines. The thermal decomposition of quaternary ammonium salt, which is converted into hydroxide, and this hydroxide gives you the formation of tertiary amine, alkene, and water. Alkene and water. These are the three products which are obtained by the thermal decomposition of the quaternary ammonium salt. And so here the simple example we are going to take, which is somewhat different, whatever we are saying that we are going to get tertiary amine, alkene and water, but here the example which we are considering, that is your tetramethyl ammonium hydroxide. Tetramethyl ammonium hydroxide. Tetramethyl ammonium hydroxide. Tetramethyl ammonium hydroxide. On heating, that is by thermal decomposition, it gives you the formation of trimethylamine plus methanol as a product. Means here we are not getting alkene and water, because in this reaction there is the formation of methanol as a product, because there is no presence of the beta hydrogen atom on the methyl group. And so any other group which contains more than two carbon atoms, 2 3 4 carbon atoms, then you get the formation of an alkene and water. But here when we will just see the structure of this amine, that is the trimethylamine, there are all alpha hydrogen atoms. There is no presence of means there is no acidic proton attached here, and so the elimination cannot take place. And so here we get, so for the example, if we just have the another example of the quaternary ammonium salt, suppose here CH3, CH3, here it is CH2, CH3, and here CH2, CH2, and CH3. So this is your quaternary ammonium salt. So here the quaternary ammonium hydroxide. Why it is called as quaternary? Because four different groups are attached to this nitrogen atom, in which the two are methyl groups, one is ethyl and one is propyl. So here you will get the formation of, now what happens here, this CH2 and this H. Now here this contains the alpha and beta. Here again alpha and beta dash, alpha dash, beta dash. Now this protons, out of this beta and beta dash, beta proton is more acidic, because to beta dash there is a methyl group which is attached, which is electron donating, and so this is less acidic, and here there is no presence of electron with donating group, and so this proton is more acidic, and so this proton is being abstracted by the base, or that is OH minus, and you get the formation of this electron pair is transferred to this CH2, and then this electron pair is transferred to this nitrogen, and so you are getting the formation of CH3, CH2, CH2, N, CH3, CH3 plus CH2 double bond CH2, that is the alkene is obtained. Alkene is obtained, and here we are getting the formation of tertiary amine. And so our reaction which we are studying, that is by the thermal decomposition of the quaternary ammonium salts, we get the formation of tertiary amine, alkene and water. Water is liberated here in this first step, and the tertiary amine and alkene is obtained. But this is the case where there is a presence of beta hydrogen atom. Now this product which is being obtained, this is obtained according to the Hofmann's rule. It is obtained according to the Hofmann's rule, means where a less substituted alkene is obtained as a major product. But in some cases, a more substituted alkene may be obtained as a major product, and that was the Sedgwick's degradation. That is the Sedgwick's degradation. So here the justification for our answer is that this proton is more acidic. This proton is more acidic, and that's why the beta hydrogen is liberated. So the beta hydrogen is eliminated, or it is the is more acidic, is more acidic than beta dash hydrogen. So this is our justification of our answer. And so in this way we are getting the thermal decomposition of the quaternary ammonium salt. Then we will turn towards the next type of reaction, that is the electrophilic substitution. Electrophilic substitution reaction. Electrophilic substitution reaction of aromatic amines. Of aromatic amines. And so here in the electrophilic substitution of the aromatic amines, we are going to study the reactions of aniline. Aniline is a molecule in which the hydrogen atom of the benzene ring is substituted by the amino group. The hydrogen atom of the benzene ring is substituted by the amino group, is termed as your aniline. And in this way, there are different types of the derivatives of aniline which undergoes electrophilic substitution reaction. And so here, this is your the dimethylamine, sorry, secondary amine, that is N-methyl aniline. N-methyl aniline. This is one of the derivative. So here the different derivatives, we will have the another derivative, that is meta-nitroaniline. Meta-nitroaniline. Then orthotolidine. 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 That is 2-methyl aniline. Here it is 3-nitroaniline, or it is meta-nitroaniline. So these are the different derivatives of aniline. And so as the nitrogen atom which is attached to the benzene ring is sp3 hybridized, and the total benzene carbons are all sp2 hybridized, and so there is a lateral overlap between the hybrid orbital of the nitrogen and the unhybrid orbital of the aniline ring. And so the delocalization, so the delocalization of the electron pair on the nitrogen is taking place, and due to this delocalization, it the lone pair of electron is involved in the delocalization and gives you the different types of resonating structures. And here we will get the resonating structures as NH2. Here it's plus and the minus charge. And if you see that this minus charge is delocalizing in the ring at the particular positions, that is ortho or para position only. So this negative charge is being delocalized. So here this is ortho, this is para, and now here again this will delocalize and go to the ortho position, and in this way the electron pair on the nitrogen is involved in delocalization. And that's why when such type of molecule, that is the aniline, when it undergoes the electrophilic substitution reaction, so here this is the resonance hybrid structure of your aniline, that the negative charge is being delocalized over the ring. So this is the resonance hybrid structure. And so this amino group is ortho and para directing. Ortho and para directing. So the attack of the electrophile is possible at the ortho positions and para positions. And so the reaction, it gives the electrophilic substitution reactions at ortho and para positions. Suppose the amino aniline, if it undergoes the electrophilic substitution with the electrophile, you may get the three possible products, that is your NH2, your Y, NH2, here it's at meta position, and the NH2, here the electrophile at para positions. So this is your ortho, meta and para, where the ortho and para are major products and the meta is a minor product. So this is due to the stabilization of the intermediate which is obtained, which takes place at the stabilization of the intermediate is taking place in this reaction, and so we get ortho and para product. So we will discuss the different reactions in the next lecture. Thank you very much.